This is Seth. Seth Kniep'n, Keep It Real. I hope you're doing really well. I am so excited to be able to share with you a tool that is absolutely incredible. I'll just be blunt and say it. If you have Jungle Scout, delete it. Use this tool instead. It is so much better. I'm not being paid to do this. Therefore, I can tell you freely without any guilt, you've got to do this. It is called AmazeOwl. AmazeOwl is absolutely incredible. What it can do is amazing. I use it for all my searches now. All my clients use it. In fact, when I meet with someone the first time, because I do a lot of one-on-one coaching and then do coaching through Skype and screen share to show people how to find products, top ones, how to build up their sales and all this. It's really fun. The first thing I do is I teach them how to use AmazeOwl. It's free, and don't let the fact that it's free deceive you into thinking that it's cheap or that it is not of any value. I know the guys who created it. I'm getting to know them. They're incredible. They know what they're doing. I'm telling you guys, if you want to save yourself hours, you've got to get AmazeOwl. Just to give you perspective, if you spent 1 minute looking at every product on Amazon.com every day, 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, it would take you almost 500 years to get through every single product. On AmazeOwl, you could do it in 2 years. You don't want to miss opportunities. You want something that allows you to go through a lot of data. Here's a better example. Imagine you're mining for gold, and you go out with your little teaspoon, and you pick up some dirt, and you look through it, no gold, and you get the next shovelful, teaspoonful, no gold. Instead of doing that, which would take you so many years to find anything of value, get a huge tractor. You know, one with a huge bucket. And it picks up this huge thing of dirt. And quickly you'd see if it has any gold in it. And it picks up another one. You see what I mean? That's what AmazeOwl. It does the heavy lifting for you so you can focus on selling and making passive income. Now today I'm going to show you exactly how, once you've found a product that you're really interested in that is high potential, I'm assuming you have basic knowledge of AmazeOwl. If you don't, go back and go to AmazeOwl's webpage, go to their Facebook, look at my video, and learn how to use it. And I can show you in another video. But assuming you know the basics, once you find a potential product, I'm going to show you how to research other similar products in that same niche, and then how to figure out, is this going somewhere? Is this going to make me a lot of money in the future? I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you a whole lot of stuff. It's going to be really fun. So let's get started. I'm assuming you already found a hefty number of potential products. Here's what I found. I found the Chef Vantage Salt and Pepper Shaker set with adjustable holes, stainless steel. So what I'm going to do first is look at this data. It's basic data, but it's helpful. This arrow will take me right back to the product itself so I can look at it on Amazon. This tells me it is in the bestseller ranking in home and kitchen, in that category. This ranking is number 4086. Now I know that may not seem like a very high ranking. And keep in mind, lower numbers are better. To be number 1 is better than to be number 10. 1 is a lower number than 10. This might not seem very high. 4,086, I'm not very interested. Actually, it's really good. Let me explain. Look at what they're making, or look at their gross revenue per day on average, $285. They're selling it for $16.99. They're doing this 17 times a day. So that results in $285. Now, assuming that they're making at least a 33% profit, remember the thirds rule. If you sell a product for $9, consider a third of it to go to the supplier, $3. Another $3 goes to Amazon, and you get to keep $3. Now, if you get higher than that, that's amazing. But thirds is a good rule to go by. At $285 divided by 3, they're making about $95 a day. Profit. 95 times 30 days is $3,000 almost, $2,850. $2,850 times 12 is $34,000. So I'm telling you, a product ranking at 4,086 is making them a potential $34,000 a year. That's not bad. Now imagine if you had 10 of these. That's $340,000 a year. Imagine if you had 100 of these. Now we're talking about millions. You get the idea? You can scale Amazon so high, you guys. It's amazing. Okay. So the first available 9 months ago. What this tells me is it's not a super new product, but it's not old. Anything 6 months and newer is really good. Anything within the first year is good. So if it was really new, I'd be more excited because that means I have more potential to get into the competition, and I would think there'd be more reviews by this time. It's only been out for 9 months. But at the same time, 9 months is not bad. Weight is 0.6 pounds. This is very important. As a general rule of thumb, try to keep your product under a pound because you end up spending a lot of money paying Amazon to ship it for you. 12 ounces and below is ideal. So for example, if I was to go on pounds 0.6, that tells me it's 9.6 ounces. That's perfect. That's a great weight. Okay, so having looked at all that data, I'm going to click here or here. No, I'm sorry, I'm just going to click here. Forget that. What this will do is it'll add, you can read it, it adds a list of competitors, demand data, and start tracking changes to key values. So I'm going to click that right now. And I'm now going to put in a keyword. Now, this is very important. I'm going to put in first bare bones. What do I need to look at? Well, salt and pepper shaker. That's obvious. What else is unique about this? Well, it's stainless steel. See, that's more specific than just salt and pepper shaker. That's too broad. I'm not going to put in Chef Vantage. That's their brand name. They're doing that to try to private label it so no one else will sell it. Adjustable holes, that's pretty cool, but that's still too specific, in my opinion. So I'm just going to stick with the material, stainless steel, okay? And what it's going to do when I click this is it's going to search the first 2 pages of Amazon.com if someone was to search that exact phrase. Now, obviously, you could go do this yourself on Amazon.com, but here's what's cool about it. It's only going to pull up the top performers. And let me explain why that's so important. When I was growing up, there were 2 major operating system companies. There was Microsoft Windows for computers, and there was Mac OS X for computers. Those were the big players. There were actually hundreds of other operating system companies out there, but no one paid attention. Why? Because they weren't performing well enough. So when you're trying to understand the market, follow the money. Follow where people are putting their money. People were paying Microsoft. People were paying Apple. And that tells me where the market is. Where people are putting their money is the most valuable data, okay? That's why you only want to look at the top performers in this category. Do not worry about everyone else, okay? Either they don't know what they're doing or, I don't know, something's wrong, okay? Going back to this, now you can see it created a niche. Now what I mean by that is it's a whole entire category, okay? It has 5 competitors, 5 top performers. The first thing I want to do is find out, okay, what are the monthly searches on Amazon.com? So I'm going to click to load. It's going to show me how many searches are done per month on Amazon.com. And the answer is 0. And the answer is 0. So this is so specific, there's not a lot of interest. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out stainless steel. I'm going to get a little more broad. I want to understand what's really working. And I'm going to hit search again. And now we have a lot more searches. And what this does up here, AmazeOwl, is it's giving you the total numbers of the first 5 rows down here. So the first 5 rows, the sum total of these numbers, all the way down to 91,000, is 3,112,000. Okay, so salt and pepper shaker as a category is very high. Stainless steel, extremely low. Now, obviously, it's going to be a lower number if it's more specific, more long tail, adding on stainless steel. But this tells me that salt and pepper shaker is really huge potential, but stainless steel may not be the niche to be in. But just for the sake of understanding, I'm going to go ahead and change this back to stainless steel. And I'm going to hit search again just so you can see how it works because I want it to be accurate. This is going to say 0. It doesn't mean no one searches for it. It just means it's so low, it's well under 100 searches a month that it's not even going to show up, okay? So I'm just going to close that, very sadly. And that is why monthly searches still says nothing. It just says click to load, okay? Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the buy price. How much will these cost on Alibaba? Now, Alibaba is not the only place to go. It's just one of them. And now it's searching. As you can see, it's working up here. It's looking through all these sets of salt and pepper shakers. Now, I wouldn't just trust this number right here. It's giving you the average buy price, but I would at least go through and get an idea. Make sure there's nothing wacky in here. Earlier today, I was looking on a different product, and no, it was actually this one, and they had some kind of different shaker, and it was $100. So this number up here was ridiculously high. Just make sure everything's pretty accurate. Okay, that's definitely stainless steel salt and pepper. That is interesting. Power, sharp, testing. Huh, totally different. Not even relevant. This one's definitely salt and pepper shaker. So the average price I'm getting here is anything from 50 cents to $5. But the $5 ones tend to be the really nice ones, like really fancy. So I'm going to, just to be on average, I'm going to say, okay, based on this information, I'm going to say 250 I think is safe. So I'm going to hit save. And what that means is now it's safe to close this tab. I close it, come back over here, and you can see the buy price is 2.5. It's telling me that's about how much it's going to cost to buy it from a supplier. I have 5 competitors. Now let's talk about reviews. Reviews are super important. This is one of the most important things you can ever look at. The reason a review is so important, and the reason it's median instead of average, is for the simple fact that imagine there's 3 performers, and performer number 1 has 1 review, performer number 2 has 10 reviews, performer number 3 has 100 reviews. If I get the average of that, that's 100 plus 10 plus 1 is 111. So that's 111 divided by 3. The average is 37. So if it said 37 reviews, that's not a very realistic number. It's way higher than it should be. Here's why. If one of those performers had 1,000 reviews and the other one was 10, the other one was 1, the average is a super high number. So it makes me think, oh, I can't compete. The reviews are too much. There's too much competition. But wait. This, by looking at the median, it's telling me some of the smaller players, some of the newer players are getting 10, 20, 30 reviews, even though this guy over here is 20,000. Therefore, there is hope. There's a chance I could compete too. Does that make sense? So the median review would not be number 1 or number 3 performer. It'd be the middle number 2, their number of reviews. So if you go back to the screen with me, you're going to see exactly that. So on the median reviews, the middle review number is 440 reviews. The lowest is 240. The highest is 929. So of these 5 performers, one of them has 929 views. One of them has 240. And the middle, number 3, not 1, not 2, not 4, not 5, but number 3, has 440. That's pretty good. Anything under 500 is good. Anything under 200 is really good. It tells me I have an opportunity. But there's something I'm noticing that I don't like that I see. Not only do I not like the fact that the monthly searches are so low, they don't even pop up. Like they're not even there. The competitor is only 5. If it was more like 7, 8, 10, maybe up to 15, that tells me there's more hope for this product. But there's not enough people competing to make me really think there's potential here. You can get valuable data from your competitors as well, not just your customers. I also am noticing the median price. This is the middle price. So, one of these competitors, one of these 5 down here probably has it at $19.95. The lowest probably has it at $11.95. The third, or the middle reviewer or seller, is pricing it at $14.95. This is important because it gives me an idea of how much I should probably be selling it for. So now I'm going to click on margin impact, and it's going to automatically pull up. Right now it pulls up the highest price ones. Hopefully soon they'll change it to the median one. But I'm going to change the price to $14.95 because that's about how much I'd be selling it for. I'm not going to look at your fulfillment. This is FBM, fulfilled by merchant, also known as fulfilled by me. I'm going to just look at Amazon fulfillment because I'm going to send it to Amazon and have them do it for me. So having done that, I'm going to just go through here with you. I would sell it for $14.95. The shipping is free because Amazon's shipping it for me. I mean, there's no cost at this point in this part. So the actual revenue, hit calculate, is going to be $14.95. But now let's look at the costs. There is a referral fee no matter what. It's $2.24 I would have to pay for shipping it from Amazon. That is about, I'm guessing, 20%-ish? Yeah, close to 20%. Most categories are 15% referral fee. This one's a little higher. That's fine. So I have to pay that when it sells. Variable closing fee is if it was media, like a DVD or a CD or music. There's nothing there. I don't have to worry about that. Order handling, all this means is when Amazon prepares the order to ship to the customer, I'm going to pay $1 every time they do that per order. Pick and pack is when I send my inventory to Amazon's warehouse and they receive it when they take it out of the box and they put it on the shelving and they categorize it and put it in packages so it's prepared for shipping. That's what that cost is. I'm paying them to do that per item. So if I send in 1,000 items, ultimately they're going to get 1,060. Yeah, $60. Now keep in mind, you don't pay this until it actually sells, okay? Outbound shipping, this is irrelevant because I'm not directly paying Amazon for shipping it outbound. Weight handling, this is relevant because I am going to pay a cost based on the weight of the product. That's why it's so important that you get a product that doesn't weigh a lot. This is kind of high, 234. Let's see how much it weighs. There's why, 1.45 pounds. So this is actually going to go in the large standard size category, not the small standard size category. If you were under 2 pounds, you're in the large, but if you were under 12 ounces, you're in the small. Okay, the next thing is the monthly storage. This is how much I pay per month per item to store in Amazon's warehouse. If you sell your products before the first month is over, you don't pay anything there. Inbound shipping, this is a bug in the system. This is crazy high. What inbound shipping is, and I'll let you read this one, it's the postal carrier manifest shipping cost to get the item to your fulfillment warehouse. So let me explain, this one gets confusing. If I order it from the supplier and have it sent to me, okay, and I look at it, I like it, and I'm going to send it to my warehouse, the fulfillment center, it's that cost. Or if I send it to Amazon, it's that cost. It's that shipping cost. That's what this inbound shipping is, because it's inbound to the fulfillment center. So realistically, that number should be, it's not expensive to send it to Amazon. I'm telling you, it's 0.25 cents is probably high. Okay, customer service. Amazon provides this. That means like returns. If they have a return or they need to send a message or a customer has a question, that kind of stuff. Prep service. This is really important. Prep service means the entire cost for, I go to the supplier, the cost for having them build it, having them package it in that retail packaging, having them put my logo on it, and send it to me, the shipping. It's that whole thing, that big chunk I pay, that PI they call it, the perform invoice, that is my prep service cost. So I need to be able to break it down per item. So anytime, let's say I order, 1,000, keep it simple, 100 things from a supplier on Alibaba, okay? I need to divide the number of products into that total. And that total will tell me how much each one costs. So for example, if I have 100 products, and let's say the total cost is 5,000, okay? And I'm ordering, that's crazy. Let's say it's 100, okay? And I'm ordering 100 products. There we go, it's simple. It costs me $1 per product, okay? And that includes the shipping cost, all right? So that's why, I'm going to change this to 3, because I'm going to guess, I'll do 350. I'm going to guess it's going to be about another $1 for shipping, because we got the 250. That 250 in there, that came from Alibaba. Remember we put that number in there? Now I'm adding on another complete $1 for the shipping. Okay, now I'm going to hit calculate, and you can see the profit I would make is $4.46. Another way to look at it is these are the costs for fulfilling it. This is my cost subtotal. In other words, this includes both the cost to fulfill it and all the other costs. And I'm going to make $4.46. Here's another way of looking at it. My total revenue, the total sales, $14.95, because that's how I'm selling it for, right? The cost for me is $10.49. That's Amazon fees, shipping fees, supplier fees, pick and pack fees, all that fun stuff. So the margin impact, also known as the profit, is $4.46. So I'm going to go back over. Oh, I need to hit save. That would be smart. I go back over here. I can close this actually. And now you're going to see when I refresh it, or it refreshes itself, it's telling me I'm going to make $4.46 per sale for this item. Okay. Oh, by the way, total daily sales, this means 176 total sales for these competitors combined over here. And the total coming in every day on average is 2,764 for all the sales of these 5 top performers selling something like a salt and pepper shaker stainless steel. Keep in mind, this is a picture of one of the products. That's another picture. That's another picture. That's another picture. All right. Having done all this work, I'm going to check one more thing. I'm going to check Google Trends. I just click on that. Guys, I know it's a lot of information, but it's so simple once you get used to it, and it will save you so much time and money. Notice there's not enough data on Google Trends for this to even come up, so I'm just going to, like I did with the Amazon searches, I'm going to go to salt and pepper shaker, and just, that really likes stainless steel. There we go. And bam. Okay, so this is telling me that salt and pepper shakers are consistent, all right? It's starting from January 2004 all the way to April 1, 2015. What I do is I start with the dips. It does not sell well in September. There's not much trending in March. Come on. There we go. August. Okay. I'm just trying to get an idea of when does it not sell well. So a lot of spring, summer. But check out the peaks. December. This is a Christmas gift. This is a holiday gift. Let me go way down here. Look at this. November, December. Okay, so this obviously, the fact that right now, guys, it is September, almost October. If I was able to get these to my house fast enough, I could probably sell a huge truckload of this because Christmas is coming. Google Trends just helped me. But notice what I had to do. I had to remove the word stainless steel to see a trend, because stainless steel is not big enough to really consider. So I'm still interested in salt and paper shakers, but not stainless steel ones. So going back to this. Now what's going to happen is Google Trends is going to load, Let me just refresh it for you. And now it's going to show me. Why didn't it show me? Let me go back again. Oh. You know what? It's because I changed the word, I think, so it's not going to load on me. But that's okay. It should show you a chart right here. Okay. So having done that, now I'm going to show you one more thing. Demand level, ease of entry level, and net profit level. And the way these drop down is I just clicked on the stars. You want high stars on all of these. The higher the stars, the better. As a general rule of thumb, if the sum total of these stars and these stars is not at least 6 or higher, I don't consider it, usually, with few exceptions. The reason for that is this. You want the demand to be high. That's based on competitors. If we had a few more competitors up here, this would even be higher, which is good. That means there's a lot of interest. But the searches for the stainless steel variety of pepper shakers was terrible. Therefore, there's nothing there. Therefore, it's a pretty low demand for this niche. So I'm going to look at other kinds of salt and pepper shakers. That's why the demand confidence is 58%. Anything below 50, don't even look at. Just like walk away. Ease of entry is different. Now again, this is a little confusing, but ease of entry, the higher the stars, the easier it is to get in. The reviews are telling me it's not too bad because the median, the middle review, one of those, the middle guy, top performer, has 440. If he has 440, I can get 25 for giving it discounted, giving it away. I will start to compete. I will do well. I can compete with this. But if this was like 700 or 800, that's going to be really hard to compete against. See? So the ease of entry is not too bad. The listings number, let me show you one more thing. If this reviews was all the way filled up, then these stars would be lower. I know it's counterintuitive, but it's true. You don't want super high reviews. Listings, the number of listings tells me the ease of entry is not too bad. Okay, we have 5 performers. Again, I'd prefer there to be a few more. That would raise the demand. But also the fact that there's not that many means it'd be easy to get in. My honest conclusion on this, you guys, is if I was to pursue salt and pepper shaker, stainless steel, look at that, I said it right. I would get in easily. It wouldn't be too hard. But the problem I'm going to run into is there's not enough demand. There's not enough competition. Something to think about. When I went to Alibaba, did you notice that there were tons of salt and pepper shakers? The first time I started on Alibaba, if I found something on Amazon and I found the same thing on Alibaba, I would jump out of my chair and go, oh my goodness, this is awesome. I can't believe it. Like, this is the same thing. What I did not realize is that was a fool speaking. The fool, okay? Sorry, she's crazy. It's getting late here, but this is good. You don't want it to be super easy to get it from a supplier. Because guess what? If you are noticing that, there's probably 5,000 other competitors doing the exact same thing. And why wouldn't they do that and go buy it and get it and start? And then all of a sudden, it's like all the birds on that cartoon. Everyone's going, me, mine, 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 mine. And you're standing there amongst 10,000 people hoping someone notices you. Would it be better to go with 50 kids who are all running to the same tree to get the Easter eggs and there's only 30? Or would it be better to go with 3 kids going to this rock where there's only 10 eggs, but there's 10 and there's only 3 of you? You see the difference. So if you can't find out on Alibaba, that does make it harder, yes, but it also gives you a huge opportunity. So that will be a challenge here when it comes to salt and pepper shakers. So having looked at all this data, oh, by the way, net profit level, that just means the profit is good. It's $8. I do not know the algorithm behind that, but it would make very decent money. Having looked at all this data, what I'm going to do is I want to look at salt and pepper shakers something different than stainless steel. That is my conclusion. Next time we'll come back, we'll do deep analysis. We'll go even deeper, and I will show you more data on how to really understand this. But I hope this has been helpful for you. Hope you guys have an awesome night. This is Seth, Kniep'n It Real. I wish you the very best on Amazon. May you be badass. Bye.